underway right now as I do this video, an 8.7 magnitude earthquake off the east coast of Russia. And as you can see, I'm over here at the National Data Buoy Center. The buoys are in event mode for over 8,000 miles. I don't think I've ever seen this before, this type of activity. This is unprecedented. The aftershocks are unprecedented. We are seeing history in the making. Look at the buoys here. They are in event mode from the Gulf of Alaska down to Macquarie Island, where there was a 6.9 earthquake yesterday, south of New Zealand. This is one of the top 10 strongest earthquakes ever to be recorded, at least in modern history, since we've been keeping records. And I'll confirm that with you guys here in just a moment. I'll show you guys the history. A lot going on, guys. A lot going on right now. We talked about that earlier today in the live stream. And as you can see, this is the exact location of the very shallow 8.7 magnitude. I think it was under 12 miles. Yeah, right around 12 miles deep. I'm getting word, I don't know if this is confirmed, maybe you guys can help me confirm this. Was there a tsunami felt along the east coast of Russia? I wouldn't be surprised. There would almost have to be. Look at the aftershocks that are occurring. And these aren't small fries. There have been 6.9s, 6.3s following the very large 8.7. There's another aftershock right there. This has been a hot spot for days. It just got hotter, and 8.7. So I don't know if this would be considered an aftershock because of all the earthquake activity in this region that's been going on now for a couple of weeks. Thank you, Douglas. Got the number one spot there, Douglas. Thank you. 6.9, 6.3, 5.5, 5.7. You're seeing history in the making, guys. One of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded on planet Earth has just occurred within the last 90 minutes. 90 minutes. Buoys are rocking all over the Pacific Ring of Fire. Look at the Ring of Fire. Buoys from California to Japan, from Alaska to New Zealand. Oh my, this is a big, big deal. And we talked about this earlier. We talked about the possibility of an increase in earthquake activity just in the live stream just prior to this because of an upcoming solar event, and that hasn't even arrived yet. Earth is just primed and ready for action. It's obvious. 8.7 with a tsunami warning. In fact, let's go to the tsunami warning and read up on it. I heard that the tsunami did make landfall. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, that's code red. That's tsunami, guys. Wow. There you go. Code red. What a powerful earthquake. Okay, tsunami. Tsunami warning. Unbelievable. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of information here, guys. Okay, tsunami warning in Alaska, the far western Aleutians of Alaska. This area here that you see highlighted in red, that is under a tsunami warning. The purple, I believe there's been a tsunami there. Has it been confirmed? I don't know, but they're saying that just west of the earthquake swarm and the 8.7 that there was indeed a tsunami. The red area again in the far western Aleutians under a tsunami warning. I'll take you guys to that location right here. Here I span the length of the buoys that are in event mode. Over 8,075 miles from southern Alaska, well, the Gulf of Alaska, all the way down to south of New Zealand. And there was a 6.9 down here yesterday. Earth is really feeling it right now. It seriously is. And guys, it's just getting started. I think the stage is being set for something bigger. I really do. Not trying to alarm everybody, but it's just happening that way. There's been a lot of activity here recently. The purples view Midway Island. Okay, there you go. Showing 1 to 3 meters, Midway Island. Johnston Atoll. It would be a small island in the middle of the Pacific. 1 to 3 meters. under a half a meter. That's way down just east of the Philippines. Under 3 meters. 1 to 3 meters in Japan. Let's click on this marker and see what we can see. Trying to get as much information as I can. This is in the Western Aleutians. They're not saying this, the height of the tsunami. But there's going to be a tsunami there. It's under a tsunami warning. Right there, the red, just to bring you guys in close. Tsunami warning, tsunami alert, tsunami watch. All the yellow is tsunami watch. And that goes all the way up into the Gulf of Alaska. And the entire western coast of the United States is under a tsunami watch right now as I do this video. State of Hawaii under a tsunami warning. That's the red. See the red? Hawaii, tsunami warning. So any viewers in Hawaii, you're under a tsunami warning. There's a threat of a tsunami that spans 4,000 miles away from the epicenter of the very large, historic 8.7 magnitude earthquake. That was one of the top 10 strongest ever recorded. In fact, let me show you guys just how strong that earthquake was. That sent shockwaves around the world. I'll show you guys the seismographs here in a minute. They are all turning black. That's symbolic of a shallow, super shallow, very powerful earthquake. And you can see the red indicates a tsunami warning. This reminds me, I'm not saying identically, but it reminds me of the event that occurred back in Indonesia when there was a couple of 8-pointers that created a tsunami a few years back. But let's go to the top, here's the top 20 largest earthquakes in the world in the last 125 years. Here we go. 9.5 in Chile, number 1. 9.2 Southern Alaska, 1964. And that would be March 28th of 1964. The largest, the 9.5, was in 1960. That would be in May. Coming in at number 3 off the west coast of northern Sumatra, a 9.1. Tied for number 3, another 9.1 off the coast of Japan, Honshu. We all remember that in 2011, created a very large tsunami. Coming in at number 5, a 9.0 in the same location as this earthquake here today. Kamchatka, Russia, 9.0. Coming in at number 5, that was back in 1952. Number 6, an 8.8. Biobío, Chile, back in 2010. Number 7, an 8.8 near the coast of Ecuador in 1906. And number 8, an 8.7, Rat Islands in the Aleutians of Alaska, not far from this 8.7. So this one here that you're looking at on the map is tied for number 8 all-time strongest earthquakes ever recorded, well, at least since 1900. In the last 125 years. There may have been larger prior to that, but for the last 125 years, that's number 8, tied for number 8. Unbelievable amount of energy that's being transferred around the world. It's been going on for a while. We've been watching the swarm activity. We've been talking about the earthquake activity. The buoys have been acting unusual. In fact, there was a buoy right out in here. Let me see if it's still there. I don't even know if it's still, yeah, it's still there. It was this one right here. Southeast Tokyo buoy, I believe. Maybe, no, it was this one here. It was in this area somewhere. Let's just put it that way. There was a buoy out here that showed a 200-foot move the other day, and there wasn't even an earthquake, but it wasn't far from the epicenter of the activity today. Yeah, this is just shocking. It really is shocking. Top 10 strongest ever, or at least in the last 125 years. Look at the buoys, guys, all through the Pacific, spanning over 8,000 miles. Let's look at the seismographs. This is no joke. Plus, you've got a tropical storm and a hurricane out there in the middle of the Pacific Ocean to go along with a tsunami and an 8.7 magnitude quake with aftershocks. Incredible, just incredible. Let's look at here we go, the seismographs. Yes, they're reflecting a very powerful earthquake. Let me refresh this. They're probably all black. If not, that's the direction they're headed. They had no choice. The primary wave of this earthquake was so strong, and this is having a difficult time even updating because there's so much traffic. These are seismographs across the United States. They're showing a very powerful earthquake in progress still. The seismographs are still ringing. They're still vibrating from the very strong earthquake. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to the global seismographs. Here we go. Just refresh them, and they too are showing in progress. The earth is still ringing like a bell. Literally, I'm not joking. The primary wave is still recoiling through the earth. The seismographs, these are all around the world. The ones that we have access to, they're all black. Wow. Guys, you're looking at history in the making, no doubt about it. 8.7, the strongest, 8th strongest in 125 years, with a tsunami. Rocked buoys for over 8,000 miles, spanning the entire Pacific Ring of Fire. And we've been talking about the activity out here for a couple of weeks now. This really doesn't surprise me, not at all. We've been expecting a lot of earthquake activity. We're expecting volcanic activity. We wouldn't be surprised if we saw activity over here at Yellowstone itself. I mean, that's the type of energy that's been moving around, especially the northern hemisphere, but not limited to the northern hemisphere. There's been plenty of activity in the southern hemisphere as well. The entire earth is feeling the pressure. It's like the North Pacific plate is moving. It's like it's shifting. And, it doesn't take much. I mean, that's a huge plate. So any type of a shift, regarding this plate here is going to create a significant earthquake, and significant enough to become tied for 8th all time, 8.7, at least in the last 125 years. It's right there, tied for number 8. 8.7 now, off the coast of Kamchatka, Russia. Another record. They had a 9.0 in this region. Let's see if we can find the exact region. Look at there. Back in 2016, November of 2016. Wait a minute. 1952, November of 1952. There was a 9.0 not far from this location. This is another historic earthquake. Right in the same area. Within a few miles. Are you serious? Look at that. So this place has got number 5, got the number 5 spot, and it's got the number 8 spot. All-time largest earthquakes in the last 125 years, right there in that part of the world. So it's known for large earthquakes. 1952 saw a 9.0, 2025 saw an 8.7. It's not done yet. There's aftershocks underway. There have been aftershocks over here for several days. Wow. Would that be considered a big aftershock? Now this area over here, I'm not sure of the population, if it's populated, but they are Amchitka Island. Is this island populated? Because they're under a tsunami warning right now. Is this island populated? I'm just looking at the islands in the far western Aleutians, because there's a tsunami probably already there, to be honest with you. If not, it's on its way. I would say somewhere around the 6-foot range, at least. Maybe 9, this close. Doesn't seem to be occupied. You just never know. Sometimes some of these small islands out here, and they're mostly volcanic islands. It's part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, man. The Pacific Ring of Fire is loaded with volcanoes. I mean loaded. That's where the majority of the volcanoes on Earth are at. Okay, what do we got going on here? Populated or no? Doesn't look like it. Okay, well, I don't see any people. I don't see any towns or small villages, any cabins, anything like that. I don't think these are populated, which is good, because there's a tsunami that's either interacting with these small islands right now or on its way. And it's going to affect the south side, obviously, not the north too much, but the south side, oh yeah, absolutely, because it's not far from the epicenter of the powerful 8.7. that is now tied for number 8 all time. Just shocking. I mean, but it's not surprising. You know what I mean? Look at all these aftershocks and these are all over the U.S. 8.7. There's a 5.2 that occurred down in south of New Zealand following the 8.7. Then a 6.9, a 6.3. Buoys bouncing for 8,000 miles. Wow. Guys, this is an unprecedented event. You're witnessing history in the making, literally right now as we're having this video presentation. History's in the making. You just saw an 8.7, one of the largest ever recorded, and there was a 9.0 in that location right there that created a tsunami. This is the regional information. You can see it's no stranger to earthquakes. Look at all the aftershocks in that region. Look at all the aftershocks. A lot of movement there. So the region didn't surprise me, not at all. The strength, when it came off as an 8.0, a lot of times they'll downgrade these earthquakes more than they'll upgrade. You know what I mean? This one got upgraded significantly. It started off as an 8.0 and was upgraded to an 8.7. They probably got to watching the seismographs, and then once they saw all the buoys bouncing 8,000 miles away, then they knew, okay, this was much stronger than an 8.0. 8.0 is very, very strong. But the 8.7 put it in the top 8 in the last 125 years. That's significant. Tied for number 8. Number 9 is in eastern Xizang, India. The India-China border, 8.6, Assam, Tibet. And that was back in 1950. So this is the 8th strongest in the last 125 years. So we're trying to watch for tsunamis. There's just a lot going on, guys. There is a lot going on. Now we're under a tsunami advisory. Tsunami warning still up there in the Aleutians, but that could have already come and gone. It's the far western Aleutians. All those purples you see, they're under a tsunami threat is what they're calling that. Under a foot or right at a foot, but there still could be a tsunami. And what can happen? Here's what happened a while back. There was a event down here in the South Pacific that sent a tsunami, a small tsunami, and it was less than a foot up along the west coast of California. And a friend of mine has a boat over there at a marina, and the boat is parked at the marina. Well, when the water came in unexpectedly, it came in at high tide. It stretched the cables that hold the boat at the marina, and it pulled the handles and the hooks off it pulled the hardware off the boats because the water rose more than they anticipated. So if this water, and it will come in, if it comes in at high tide, it could have that same effect like it did back in, I believe it was 2017, 2018, and all the boats raised up, and it caused a lot of boat damage to boats that were parked. Wow, that's a big power. 6th strongest in recorded history, at least since 1900, in the last 125 years. Be extremely cautious if you're in the Aleutians of Alaska, along the west coast of British Columbia and the United States. A tsunami is en route. Just assume that there is, and assume it's going to be 6 feet. So act accordingly. Assume there's going to be a 6-foot tsunami. If it doesn't happen, that's a win. If it does happen, you're prepared. That's a win. We want wins. Win. So prepare for one, and you're good. Okay, so that's all I got for now, guys. I need a drink. I'm about to lose my voice here. It's been a long day. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there, everybody.